we have studied the process first, that was photosynthesis, second food chain, third decomposition, fourth respiration. Okay, so we will segregate out in the last what are the incoming and what are the outgoing processes. Okay, that will make you more clear about this topic. Listen, I want you to know this topic really well because I have worked really hard to make this video. So yeah, let's continue. So the process 5 is combustion. Now combustion of what? Combustion of biomass, like biomass burning, forest fires, coal burning and fossil fuel burning, and some industrial processes also. They all release carbon. Why? Because they all have some sort of carbon in it, as we have already know that biomass contains carbon, trees contain carbon, coal has carbon, fossil fuels have carbon. And in industrial processes, these coals and fossil fuels are used for burning and combustion, and for other activities like making iron and all. They all like take place when we uh, burn. So these all these processes release carbon. Okay, like release carbon that was stored in them, like biomass stored carbon, forest trees stored carbon, coals stored carbon for coals, and like fossil fuels stored carbon for geological time scales, not for 2 or 10 years. Because when we say for example a tree stored carbon, so maximum a tree can be 200 to 300 years old. Now that means that it has stored carbon for like 300 to 200 years. But fossil fuels generally take millions of years to form. So now you can estimate that from how much time they have stored carbon. Okay, and we will take the insight from this also. Do not forget it. Okay, now carbon, when it completely gets combust when it is combust in the presence of O2, it forms CO2. And when incomplete combustion takes place, like in oxygen poor environment, we are not talking about decomposition. That was aerobic and anaerobic decomposition. We are now talking about the combustion. Now when complete combustion takes place, CO2 forms. When incomplete combustion takes place, CO, that is carbon monoxide, that is very bad for humans also, and particular matter, that is a pollutant for the environment, forms. Okay, now here comes the insight wala part. Okay, so fossil fuel has stored carbon for geological time scales, and when we burn them, we are doing what? We are releasing carbon that was stored for millions of years into the atmosphere, that too in a rapid rate. Now sorry, that means the carbon that was stored for millions of years, now we are just for the sake of a long drive or a rest drive, we are burning that fossil fuel and releasing the uh, stored carbon into the atmosphere. That's why from the period of industrialization itself, the carbon dioxide concentration of carbon dioxide in atmosphere has increased. Because of this reason also, we are accelerating the process of carbon cycle. Like the natural carbon will always, the natural carbon cycle, NCY, it is not NYC New York City, it is NCY, natural carbon cycle. It will always try to balance it, right? But we are disrupting its balance because we are accelerating the process. Like we are transforming the storage of carbon from long term storage. We are transforming carbon from long term storage or reservoirs, for example fossil fuels, to short term storage and reservoirs, atmosphere. And keeping carbon here is also a very concerning point, because what we are doing, we are increasing the greenhouse gas concentration, right? Now comes the P6, that is really, really, really very, very, very important. Ocean carb atmosphere exchange. ठीक है, that is exchange written here. Now, sometimes, depending on the conditions, sometimes CO2 from ocean gets into the atmosphere and from atmosphere gets into the oceans. Now we will see what are these conditions. Okay. So beta, we are going to refer chat GPT notes because this is really very important to understand with notes. Okay, so we'll cover it in the next video because that is really long and that will take us more time to understand also. Okay, so bye.